things were.
Give us the report.
Oh, I would absolutely love to.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's going to be fantastic. I will do that. And I think I'm going to have to get with you on one of these brackets too, because I've been fighting weird springs in my own car. So we'll talk about that offline too. So
I'll tell you what, Joe. Ray. Send me an email with your address and all your stuff and what it is you want, and I'll just put one in the mail, man. You're
excellent.
done.
Thank you very much, Dave. That's cool. All right, we're gonna have to run now. We thank you for coming on. You want to put out any contact information, how people can find you or the products? Please do that now, so the audience can hear it.
I think you already covered it. It's hotrodinnovations.cool, and if you go on the website from there, there's a link to our Facebook and our Instagram page. All the products are there, and come check us out at SEMA.
Excellent. Now, it's a new person for us to follow on Instagram. I'm going to follow you this afternoon because I want to see. I love seeing good stuff. I love good engineering, and I can never get enough of that. And tool sites, for some reason, I can't get enough of. So,
you just got Facebook from me.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much. We'll be in touch. We'll follow up after SEMA, and we'll get you back on, and I'll shoot that email later on today.
Sounds great. You guys have an awesome day.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks.
All right. So long. All right.
It's always nice to talk to somebody with some pretty cool hardware.
That's the thing about playing in traffic. And again, you can go to look at Lou Santiago's Facebook page or allendsmag.com, Louis Lee's site. There's links on there. We're on Blue Jeans Network currently, which can change any week because it's changed before. And, Tori, our good friend Tori, got Dave on the show. He booked him last week, which was great. And unfortunately, Tori was fighting the 103 fever, so he had to tap out.
Yipes.
But, Tori finds some... all the guests I find don't want to come on to video for some reason. They say, no, we're going to stick with you.
Well, it's like us. We got faces for radio.
Exactly.
That's it, yeah.
But, Tori...
there was going to be a Motor Mouth TV show, but they couldn't find bags to put over our head that we wouldn't suffocate and we'll stick the microphone in. So
yeah, it was a problem, yeah.
That's why we're still radio people.
Exactly. So, again, that entity feeds this entity. We feed back and forth. We like to share guests, and we get great guys like Dave, who really, in the world, he's got two products. Right. Two products, and you can say, hey, you know what? Look at what Edelbrock has. But still, this is a guy who builds. His dad builds. The other guys, Joe, it's our core. It's our DNA.
Right.
The guys that are out there doing it, and
innovating, creating, definitely.
They were just able to take it to the next level. Like you could have easily developed the Power Probe because of your work with jumper leads and all that stuff.
Sure.
But you didn't. So you know what? Somebody else did.
Yeah, that's one of those flat forehead moments. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of making a trailer tester, but that company IPA IPA,
they have one
innovative
already.
Product of America. Yeah, excellent. This should be real quick. We had one of these at a buddy's shop. It was a 2016 Ford, where all the lights, all the directionals would flash quickly, like as if it had a bulb out. Okay, so now all the bulbs check out fine. Just for giggles, we changed them again, just to be darn sure that nobody messed around with it, and we couldn't find anything. Now, the bad part is, on this particular truck, it's a 16, the flasher ain't that little 552 can no more. It's the body computer.
Oh, geez.
Oh, here we go. And basically, we had a little talk with the owner of the vehicle, and the guy pulls a trailer.
Right.
Okay, and he says, you know what? Come to think of it, the lights in the trailer weren't working the last time I used it. And I was like, so my buddy has the Ford scan tool, plugged it in, and on this particular vehicle, it has a trailer module.
Oh, geez.
And it thought the trailer module shows that it was connected to the truck.
And it wasn't.
But there was nothing behind it. So it thought it had a trailer, and because the lights from the trailer were not responding, the truck says, I must have a light out. Let me flash everything.
And I tell you what, if you weren't Joe D, who knew how to fix that, you could become a whiskey-drinking woman like the Nazareth song we're going to hear here on Motor Mouth Radio. We're going to take our last break, call a hangout. We'll be back in a minute. Stick with us. 90.3 WHPC. Pour a cold one.
Hey, you in the car. Yeah, you're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation. Come on, I know you're looking for some feel-good music, so just keep your radio right here for the Sly Stone Show. And you might want to think about cleaning up your car before we start. This thing is nasty. Oh, back to what's important. It's the Sly Stone Show, now at a brand new time, live, Sunday afternoons at 4 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Every sound, every note, including the bass, on this track is played by a monkey.
American Hit Radio, Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Oh, yeah, we're bumping and grooving here on WHPC. Motormouth Radio, Ray Guarino, Joe D. I know our buddy Jeep and Al just found out what part of a bad ground doesn't people understand, because he just fixed the problem as he was listening to us.
What part of a big ground don't you understand? You Never mind. FCC.
That could go on and on infinitum. Yes, let's go back to the phones, back to the fun, and say hi. You're on with the Motormouths.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. It's Tom from Massapequa. I'm enjoying the show today.
Hey,
What's
man.
happening, Tom?
What's going on?
Hey, I got a technical question for you. I have a 2004 and 04 Cadillac Escalade, the extended version.
Right.
And I have intermittent no throttle response.
Oh, like limp mode?
You got that?
Say again?
Like limp mode? You have
No,
that?
like I'm driving and say I stop at a light and then I go again. There'll be a delay. I'll hit the pedal and there'll be no RPMs. There'll be no power.
Like flat
the
dead.
motor is idling, right? And it could also happen from a roll as well.
Okay. And how does it break out of that?
Or does it?
Do you have to do anything?
Sorry?
How does it stop doing that? Like, do you have to like?
I'm sorry. Over
there?
to listen better.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, the question was, Tom, can you get it to stop doing that and go back to normal, or is it just like that all the time now?
Okay. Very good question. I have a traction control button.
Right.
If I put if I deactivate the traction control,
right,
I could drive fine.
Okay. But as soon as you kick the traction control light on, that's when the button on. That's when stuff happens.
If I leave the traction control on,
right,
if I do not deactivate it,
right,
it always happens. So whenever I start the car, there's no traction. I have to deactivate the traction control to drive safely.
The default situation is that the traction control is engaged, and you have to actively select to disengage it. Okay. Basically, traction control is not one of the things it does is it kills your throttle. In other words, so if it thinks you're a hot rod looking to smoke your tires and whatnot, it will actually back off on the throttle in an attempt to keep you in line. Now, for that to happen, though, either you're really aggressive with your throttle, you've got really bald tires, or you may have a problem with believe it or not, the ABS unit.
Aha. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because the ABS unit senses wheel speed. Mm-hmm. The ABS computer talks to the engine computer, and they're like, "Hey, this guy's out of his mind. We can pull him back." And that's what happens there. Because you have electronic throttle, you have no direct control over the foot feed, as they used to call it, down in the more rural areas of the country.
Okay.
So I would say at this point you may want to have somebody with a professional grade scan tool plug into that and just see if anybody's not happy. You know what I mean? Do you have any lights on, by the way? No.
Okay, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
We've never had lights on for this issue.
Right.
Okay, it's been going on without lights. My kids pull codes on it. They can't pull codes that are reasonable to this
issue.
Right.
My mechanic, I bring it to him. He couldn't. It didn't happen when he drove it because it's not 100% constant.
Of course not. Yeah.
But I brought it to him with a light on, and he got a 101 or 102 code, and they changed the mass airflow sensor.
Right.
I left his place. The check engine light came back on. Same code again. 101 or 102, one of those.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
I brought it back to him. I demonstrated the situation to him. We drove around. He was able to feel the issue. He put the scan code on the machine on it with the 4 graphs. All the graphs, the 4 graphs match up.
Okay.
He had changed the mass airflow sensor, so this week he's going to replace the mass airflow sensor to see if it was defective.
I think he was shooting the messenger. Go ahead.
What? Why?
I think he was shooting the messenger.
Yeah, I know, because we don't think the mass airflows. It happened it was going on for 6 months to a year before the light came on and the code came up for the mass airflow sensor.
This is going to this would take a whole show, but basically it's probably a 101, which is the mass airflow doesn't agree with the throttle position and or the map sensor. In other words, those 3 guys have to be in sync and simpatico. It's out of whack. I guarantee you dollars to donuts. But the traction control, I would have a talk with the traction control.
Jeep and Al just told us, he just weighed in saying that when the sensor on his mom's ABS, the right rear ABS went, it locked up the right rear, and there was no throttle, and it sounds like the problem that Tom is having. So.
Could very well,
all right, there's more to this. I'll tell you this. A year or so ago, we had an ABS light go on. My son changed the front wheel hubs and the wheel sensors.
Right.
Okay? It fixed the ABS light.
Right.
And so I had new front wheel sensors, right? Because my son thinks it may have to do with the wheel sensors.
I wouldn't call him crazy.
What?
I would not call him crazy.
So what we did was this week, after the mass airflow sensor was replaced, but then we got the light again by my mechanic, I had my son replace the rear sensors, which is not the whole hub. It's just a sensor, I guess.
Just goes
where
right
on the
to the
front it was the whole hub.
Right.
And it still happened.
Okay, well, there's more to this. Oh, boy, you really should. What you should do is have a talk with the ABS computer, not just codes. You can actually see between it and the engine computer if it's commanding the torque to be pulled back. In other words, if you were on ice or snow and you punched the throttle, you did something like completely moronic like that.
Yeah.
The throttle would actually pull back on you and say, whoa, not that much, you idiot. You want full throttle, we're only going to give you quarter throttle.
Hence traction control.
Right, exactly. And there's a parameter called requested torque. All right. And the two computers talk to each other. I'll bet you dollars to donuts when this happens, the requested torque is in the crapper. You know what I mean? And that is definitely the Reader's Digest version of this, but leave the poor mass airflow alone.
Tom, you may need a guy with a better sense of scan data and diagnostics to dig into that one. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, even if there's no lights, right? You still have those things to
Well,
check.
because you still have the problem. The problem exists, so obviously you can't discount that.
It could be confusing. I just had a Ford that thought it had a trailer hanging off it.
Yeah.
No light for that either.
Story was just like if you listen back to the show, the Ford thought there was a trailer on the truck, but there was no trailer, and there was a problem that existed. So, the tech needs to be able to work around that with the right diagnostic procedure. But for now, Tom, we got to go because it's the end of the show, and we got to get out of here.
On the road. Kimmy's here. We got on WHPC.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Bye, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right, Joe, that's it. We're done. Kim's in.
Work that in.
We'll be back next week. More Motor Mouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Joe D. See ya.